Hey guys, welcome back to Sketchaday. I'm Spencer, and today we're going to be doing some fun stuff, a continuation of what we did last time. But before we begin, I want to make sure that you guys understand that I am truly appreciative of your interest here. Thanks for being here with me and hanging out. I also want to let you know that I'm also on Instagram at sketchaday.com. You probably should subscribe, turn on those alerts. I'm trying to post a lot more, so if you don't want to miss out on my video content, make sure those alerts are on, and that way you'll know whenever I post a new video. You can also get something really cool if you go to sketchaday.com/newsletter. The link will be below, because if you sign up for the newsletter, you actually get something free. I put together a how to sketch or a sketch advice guide where I've compiled some advice from my own personal life and how I sketch, and I wanted to share that with you. It includes some of the materials I use, some general tips, and even a demo in that PDF document, and it's free. All you have to do is sign up for the newsletter. So today I'm going to answer a question that was submitted. My apologies, I forgot who submitted it, but the question was about hands. How do I sketch hands in a drawing or sketch presentation? And last time we did a product that is intended to be handheld, and this actually covers part of what I talk about when I teach sketching, which is context. How do you show the context for a product? So grab whatever you have, whether it be a pen, marker, your iPad, Surface Pro, Wacom tablet, whatever you got, and let's get to it. So with hands, I'm actually no expert on human anatomy or how to just draw that out of my head. So what I tend to do is I'll actually take a picture of my hand and I'll throw that into my digital sketch program, tool, whatever, or I'll just observe my hand while I'm sketching. And fortunately for us today, I still have this handy styrofoam cup, and it's going to come in handy because I can actually position my hand in a way that is reference for how I want to draw me holding this product. So like I said, last time we sketched these scrub brushes, and so let's say I want to sketch a hand holding this scrub brush. Well, I may look at it, something like that, and decide, you know what, I need to position my hand. It's kind of hard to see with the front camera here, but I'm going to position my hand in a way that makes sense for how I want to draw the product. To do that, I'm going to work light until I get it right. So I'm using a 30% or C3 Copic marker. You can always find the links below the video to materials. It actually helps support the channel. So I'm going to sketch light here. Now to start, it looks like the top of this scrub brush is something like an ellipse, right? So I'm just going to sketch a light ellipse and then position my hand over this cup in a way. And let's see, for you guys, I'm going to put my hand just slightly out of frame here, and you guys can see, hopefully, what I'm doing. But the idea is to then just kind of, with my gray marker, sketch what I'm seeing, and that's taking the difficulty out of trying to figure out what it's like to sketch a hand. Now, it's not always that you're going to have the ability to just observe your own hand doing something, but again, this is a technique that I've used over the years because I am not an expert on human anatomy, so it's a lot easier for me to just sketch my own hand in a position that makes sense for me. So now I can kind of sketch the rest of this brush. I guess it's a very big brush sponge thing, like so. Maybe even have another sketch on the page for that brush. Usually it takes me a few times sketching a product to like get the hang of it. So I think this page may turn out better than our last video, but I digress. So I have two sketches on the same page, like so. I'm just planning on some shadow background, and then you know, maybe you could have some text down here or whatever. So just working light again with that gray marker. And now that I have my underlay, or my light sketch rather, I can now just resketch over that. Now the thing with hands is I don't want to introduce unnecessary detail. because the hands are really just a prop, okay, for the product here. And humans, we tend to do a funny thing where if we see another human or something that looks human, it immediately commands attention. So you're going to have to work or find a way to simplify your hand in a way, forgot my pinky finger, so I'm going to fake that in. Simplify the hand in a way that doesn't compete with the main sketch, okay? And sometimes that can be really, really hard to do. But the idea is that I'm not introducing too much detail. I'm happy to put some line weight on, maybe even some texture here on the brush, but I'm not sketching in things like fingernails and, you know, wrinkles and pores and all of that, because I don't want the hand to become the subject of the page. And truthfully, I could probably do another overlay here to get more of what I want, but for the purposes of just moving quickly and getting this done, I'm going to roll with it, see what we can do here. And then we have our little sponge brush thing, like so. And yes, I've taken some liberties and obscured maybe parts of the product that I didn't want to have to sketch with the hand, but at least now I have some context, okay? And if we need to, for part of the presentation, we can show the rest of the brush, quick contour lines, line weight, transition. Let's get the rest of this just sketched out real quick, like so. A little shadow here. For the shadow, I want the contrast, so I'm going to just shade that in with my hatch lines, like so. I am drawing with my wrist, but I'm holding the pen far enough up the barrel that I can get a pretty decent straight line. And throw in a background, simple line, something to just connect these two together in a way that suggests that these concepts or these sketches on your page are related. Line weight on this one, and again, just to pop the product from the hand, a little bit of color. Okay, and that color is going to inform the viewer that this is the main sketch on the page, so there's no question which one should be that dominant element on the page. Further reinforcement, add some line weight. It's a tip I don't talk about, but I just did it. Try to sketch in a way that's complementary to how you sketch and position things in that way. So you may have noticed I rotated the page. So I rotated the whole page and I found the angle that was most comfortable for me to sketch at, rather than having to contort my body or change things to force myself to sketch in an uncomfortable way. I thought it best to just rotate the page. So always look for ways to make your tools or your setup work for you. Okay, a couple more line weight tweaks here to help clean things up. And we have a hand holding a product on a sketch page. Now, it's a simple product, but hopefully, again, you have been able to kind of glean or learn or see this technique and be able to apply it to your sketches. So what do you do if you can't model your hand for your sketch? What do you do? Well, I like to think of my hand in basic geometry. Okay, so fingers have 3 joints, or let's see, yeah, 3 joints, articulation, that kind of thing. You got this meaty palm pad. So if I wanted to, I could take a look at my hand as being something like this. Okay, so thumb, index finger, middle, ring, and pinky, something like this. And that's my hand, right? So that being said, if I wanted to sketch that in perspective, I would kind of start breaking down my geometry like so. Okay, and I'm just keeping it loose, trying to not overthink or overdo things. But if I need to sketch a hand, breaking it down into that geometry, at least for me, I've found very, very helpful. Okay, so as a product designer, if you're struggling, try and think of this hand in terms of basic geometry, and you can sketch that way. And again, trying not to focus too much on all the details, but just enough that I have something representative of a human hand. And yes, it's not perfect, but it's enough that I can say, you know what? That's a hand. It's a symbol. And to me, sketching is about finding and creating those symbols that work to communicate the ideas that you want to communicate. It's actually pretty empowering if you think about it as a sketch artist or illustrator. Just really, really powerful tool. Well, thanks for joining me on Sketchaday, and thanks for enduring me drawing hands. It's something really difficult for me, admittedly, drawing hands and people, and something that I'm constantly working on. In fact, there's a really great book here. I'll grab this off my bookshelf. It's called Figure Drawing, Design and Invention. And it's kind of a figure drawing book for designers, if you will. I'll put a link in the comments below. Maybe I'll do a review in the future. But it does a really good job of breaking things down, human anatomy. So if you're a designer, illustrator, or someone just looking to improve, there goes my email. You can check that book out. Post a link. If you buy the book through the link, supports this channel. Be sure to subscribe, turn on those alerts, and come find me on Instagram and let's hang out. Thanks again for joining me, and we'll see you next time right here on Sketchaday.